Hey, what's up, world? Rodney Carr here, and as you know, the holiday seasons are upon us. I'm sure everyone's been busy with Christmas. I know I've been super busy. I've been super busy at work. It's the end of the year stuff. It's just crazy hectic. And as you know, this channel's called Average Man of High Value, which means I am an average man. And then we go into the high value part of everything, right? And so really put the cart before the horse on all of this. Was just started with the average man of high value thing, talking about the values of a man. But no one really knows me. No one really knows my values. So we're going Star Wars on this. Hey, this is where we're going. Now let's rewind. Let's go to episode one. This is really me. Um, so this is to kind of describe why I view things the way I view things. And maybe let you guys join my journey with me. We can all figure this out together on how to be better people. And I think it really starts with asking ourselves questions. Questions make us think, right? And I was reflecting the other day and I realized that unfortunately I am one of those people that really doesn't know what my views are until I hear something that I disagree with. And then I start researching that. And I think that's the way a lot of people are. We're more reactionary with our views instead of proactive with our views. So I started asking myself, what do I believe? And we're going to go into all of that as this goes. But that's the first question. What do I believe? What do you believe? Do you know what you believe until you hear something you disagree with? Because that's the way I was. Um, but let's take a pause real quick. If you're watching this, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave any comments. Let's chat about this. I'd love to hear where you guys are at with all of it. Um, but anyways, let's continue. So, what do I believe? Well, I'm still working through all of that because, like I said, I'm a reactionary person, and when you're reactionary, it's hard to think proactively, and that's what I'm working through. I have an amazing wife that's constantly making me think. I've got children, and if you have children, you know that they're always making you think because their favorite question is why. Well, I think that should be our favorite question too, at least at first. We start with the what's, then we go to the whys, and then that's where we get stuck, right? So we need to filter out all of our whys. Why do we believe these things? Why do we not believe these things? What are our whys? Why can't we filter these out before we hear something we disagree with? Because when we hear something we disagree with, but we don't already know what we believe, then how do we know that we actually disagree with it? So we have to figure out why we disagree with it, which means we have to figure out what we believe first, right? And then after you get the whys, you can get the hows. How do we proceed? Um, well, my value system comes from I'm a follower of Jesus. I am. And I have not found anything to tell me any other way of living. I've actually only found things that push me closer and closer to believing it. Like every piece of evidence I find is pushing me closer and closer to to God, to my Father in heaven. And I love that. And he talks a lot about asking questions to ourselves in meditation form, right? So let me just let me just read something to you, and we'll just go from there. Hold on, let me flip. As you can see, I've got things marked all over in this thing. Some of this was uh, on the spot looking for it, so I've got a little ruler in here as a mark. But that's not the one we're going to first. The first passage that I'm going to be pulling up, if I can get back to it, is going to be in Philippians. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Just bear with me here. I wasn't planning on starting there, but that's just where I feel I need to start. Um, Philippians 4, 8 says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure." That was a bird that just hit the window. That's crazy. Uh, "Whatever is lovely and whatever is commendable, if there's any moral excellence and if there's anything praiseworthy, dwell on these things." The word dwell means to think about them, right? So when you hear something, you know in your heart if it's moral or if it's not moral. So then you start thinking about it. And again, a lot of times that's reactionary. But if we establish what we believe beforehand, it's not necessarily reactionary. It can actually be something where we can use it as teaching moments to other people. And I'm not telling everybody that they have to believe what I believe, but I really don't see why you wouldn't choose to believe it. Because this is a book right here, this Bible, and it's camo. You can see I'm camo. Yeah, I'm a redneck. I love hunting. I love fishing. I love being in the woods. So my stuff's camo. This is also a waterproof Bible, so that way I can take it hunting with me. But if you dwell on these things, or if you think about these things, then it really helps you ingrain why you believe something and why you feel something, and it helps you to explain and express and just draw your lines. Just define why you believe what you believe, where you believe it, and it makes it to where you don't ever have to move the goalpost. If you hear something that's not within your lines, but you don't necessarily disagree with it, then it allows you to be more open-minded because you know where your lines are at. You know if that thing that you just heard doesn't fall within your lines, but it doesn't sound wrong, well, now you know you can look into it. And even if you hear something that falls outside of your lines and it sounds wrong, you should probably still look into it because we're supposed to listen first, speak second, and be slow to anger. And what I see in this world is just all kinds of anger, just everywhere anger. If you disagree with me, you might as well die. That's a phrase that I've heard repeatedly. And that's not right. We're supposed to disagree. Because this book also says, just as iron sharpens iron, so also does man sharpen man. That doesn't mean anything, but we're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to be better. We're supposed to love. And love has all kinds of different things. Like that's one of the things in this world that bothers me is we don't know what love is anymore. We've lost the concept of it. And our English language is terrible with it because we use the same word for love for everything. Like, I have a wife, I have daughters, I love both of them. And I use the words I love you all the time to them, right? But then when it comes to tacos, I say I love tacos because I love tacos. But they're nowhere near the same caliber. I would get rid of tacos in a heartbeat, but I would not get rid of my family for really anything. So our version of love is so skewed. Like, I have amazing friends. I love them too, but not in the same way. You have the Greek language has 5 words for love, and each word describes a different type of love. And I think that's more accurate. I think it gives you a better understanding of what love is. And that's our biggest problem is we don't even understand what words mean anymore, which makes it hard for us to describe what we're actually trying to say to each other. So first things first, we have to understand what we believe. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we believe? And after we answer that question, we have to ask ourselves, why do we believe it? If you believe something just because someone said it and you didn't dive into it any farther than that, but just beyond the fact that someone that you supposedly trust said it, well, then you're not doing yourself or anyone else a service. Where do our values come from? Why do we have values? What do values mean? These are all things that we need to know. And so I'm I took a break from making videos because I was asking myself all of these questions. And I figured I would start it off by explaining to you where I'm coming from with all of this. I'm working on something. There's going to be a series coming up because I asked myself these questions that I'm talking to you about. And then I decided, where do we start with all of this? Well, the reality is, we start at the beginning. So I've got a series coming up. I really hope y'all check it out. It's going to be awesome. Um, I'm comparing the scientific creation story to the biblical creation story, just side by side. I'll already explain to you what my belief is, but as I'm going through this video, I'm going to do very little input of what I believe. I'm just going to share the information. I don't know how many videos it's going to take to get through it, but I think it's going to be amazing. Um, Anyways, if y'all have any comments, please leave them for me. I'd love to discuss any of this with you. I'd love to answer any questions that you have about what I feel about things, what I think about things, what I see when I'm looking at things. And I'd just love to exchange information, get to know each other, and help each other grow as people. Let's be each other's iron and sharpen each other. This is our best weapon here, and we need to use it more. And the only way we can use it better is by asking ourselves questions. We can't just believe everything we hear. We actually have to look deeper into literally everything. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to continuing this journey with y'all. Thank you.